Hello again guys, and thanks for tuning in. Welcome to another outdoor adventure with Gary. Today I'm in sunny Dorset, and yes, there will actually be sun. I'm on the eastern edge of the Jurassic coast, roaming around the Isle of Purbeck. The plan is to tackle a 19-mile Ordnance Survey route that winds its way to the famous Old Harry Rocks, with a detour to the ever-dramatic Corfe Castle ruins. It's early spring, the birds are singing, and there's only 6 more Sundays until I trade English hills for the mountains of France on the 3,000-kilometre Hexatrek. In other news, I've somehow stuck to my reduced calorie plan this week and even survived a 24-hour fast without gnawing off my own arm. Right, let's get back to the start about an hour and a half ago and kick it off from there. Let's go. Welcome to the Isle of Purbeck, a stunning slice of Dorset's Jurassic coast. Despite the name, it's not an island, but a peninsula, shaped by sea, wind and time. From the chalky spires of Old Harry Rocks, standing guard over the coastline, to the sculptured curves of Lulworth Cove and the iconic arch of Durdle Door. This land tells stories written in stone. Inland trails wind through heathland and past ancient ruins like Corfe Castle, watching over the valley below. It's a place where cliffs meet clouds and every path leads to something timeless. Purbeck isn't just a trek, it's a journey through living history. Enjoy. Okay, so Purbeck Island, let's see what you've got. So I drove down yesterday in Willow. Now if you watched my island road trip video over Christmas, you'll know all about Willow. I parked up somewhere last night, cooked a steak, some sweet potato mash, had a nice meal and then chilled out for the night, and then drove up to this point this morning, which is just opposite Sandbanks. And I'm sure you've all heard of Sandbanks. This is Sandbanks here. There's a little ferry to get across, and I've started, so I've parked in the National Trust car park. I didn't get the ferry across, so I drove around yesterday afternoon. I'm parked in the National Trust car park because I'm a member of the National Trust and you get it for free. So I've got a bit of a long road walk down here. I'm not going to follow this, I think it's a Trailmasters route that's on Ordnance Survey. I'm not going to follow it exactly because for some reason it goes up the road. But I've done this walk last year, and you don't need to go up the road. There's some footpaths which we're going to follow off-road, and it comes out in the same place. So God knows why it's going up the road, but bizarre really. So right, let's see. So we're heading west. If you see the hill in the distance, we're going to head up to the top of that, and then we're going to head down to Corfe Castle, which is ruins of an ancient castle. We'll get some video there. Fortunately, there's no restrictions on drone flying here, so we should be okay. Oh, funny bikes. So yeah, hopefully we should get some good drone footage today. Right, let's crack on. Right, I don't know if you can, stop saying right, I don't know if you can see, but for some reason the route goes up the road, and I don't want to walk up the road. So I can I'll hold the phone up, I can either cut off right up here and go around this footpath, or I think I can just go up here, which links up to that footpath up here anyway. And then it kind of cuts, a bit zigzaggy, and it cuts through to the route further up anyway, which is much better. and I've walked this section before, and it's quite nice, to be honest. So don't know why it's going up the road, very strange, but we ain't going to do that. So we are going to turn off, or we, when I say we, I say me, we're going to turn off right here. It's actually starting to get quite warm now. It was a bit nippy when I started, but you always end up starting with too many clothes on. The jacket's going to come off in a minute. I have to say, this is a lovely area. Wait till we get up. When we get up high, there's a beautiful view across all around it's fairly flat. Looking out to sea, you look out to Bournemouth, to Southampton, Swanage over to our left. Actually, I drove through Swanage last night, and yeah, it's a lovely place. Seems very nice. Nice little coastal town. I'll just give a little pan around so you can see the view behind. We're starting to climb up a little bit now. Always remember when hiking to have a little glance behind every now and then, just to see the view behind. So I'll have a slow pan round. It certainly is quite a sight. So in the distance on the right, that's Bournemouth. Over to the left is Poole. And I do believe that Poole Harbour is the largest natural bay in the world, actually. It's a beautiful place. Right, so we're just at this junction point, and we're going to chuck a right and follow this path up to the top up there somewhere. You can see the path up there. A bit boggy to the left. The jacket's come off, just in the jumper now, or the mid layer, shall we say. Oh man, this is tough, steep and sandy. But what awaits us at the top? Ooh. Oh, hello there. What is that? Look at that. Bit like Big and Little Rock from a few weeks ago. All the ancient graffiti. Absolutely covered. There you go, there's a bit of a better view now. So on my straight ahead there, I don't know if you can see my finger, that's Poole. Right there in front of us now, that's Sandbanks, and Bournemouth in the distance. See the beautiful sandy beaches? What a sight. And you can see there is Poole Natural Harbour. I need to get a bit of a move on because the car park shuts at 6 and I've been messing around with drones and cameras and we've only done about 6k so far, and I started pretty late as well, so I really do need to get moving because there's a long way to go. Okay, so we are now going to head up. Come on, I'm not off course. Right, so we're going to head up onto the, we're down here now, bang bang bang. We're going to head up this little chute and then we're going to get up on the ridge line, and then we've got, I do believe, a long old straight walk down the top of the ridge all the way down to Corfe Castle, which is actually the Purbeck way. Yeah, it's quite a long way down there, and then basically we see Corfe Castle and then we turn around and come back again, but on the lower path. No, someone is not buried there. This is the National Trust Studland Road. So I'm now on the Purbeck way heading west towards Corfe Castle, which is about 3¼ miles that way. Behind me is Swanage, and I drove through there last night and it seems quite a nice town, nicely laid out, plenty of shops, fairly busy. I should imagine in tourist season it must be absolutely rammed. Around me, that is the Isle of Purbeck. So we're kind of, so I'm heading, I've got to stop saying we're. So I'm heading along kind of the ridge line of this hill, which eventually drops down to Purbeck Castle. So I'm heading along the ridge line of this hill, which eventually drops down to Corfe Castle, which I can just see in the distance. Trying to walk relatively fast. I'm doing about 10-15 to a kilometre. Lots of lambs here. It's amazing what the prevailing wind can do. Look at that tree. So guys, ahead of me is Corfe Castle, and unfortunately someone's put an ugly mobile phone mast in front of it, which is a real shame, but it's an amazing position for a castle. If you see behind it, you've got like a ridge line. To the left of me is the sea, at the other end of that ridge line is the sea. What I'm walking on is another ridge line to the sea, and the ridge line drops down to a little valley here with the village behind and the castle defending it. It's an absolutely perfect location. But the castle itself, I'll just read from Google. So it says Corfe Castle is a fortification standing above the village of the same name on the Isle of Purbeck Peninsula, the English county in the English county of Dorset. It was built by William the Conqueror. The castle dates back to the 11th century and commands a gap in the Purbeck Hills on the route between Wareham and Swanage. The first phase was one of the earliest castles in England to be built, at least partly using stone, when the majority were built with earth and timber. Okay, so that is Corfe Castle. There's a lovely little steam train that runs through here. Must go to, I guess it goes to Swanage, but lovely little place to come. Look at that village. Although I can smell weed. Yeah, I can smell weed, which is not nice. Last night I drove up through here and I went out to a little old village out the back here. Beautiful little stone village. All the like all this, just all all the houses built with local limestone, I guess it is. But really, really nice. Okay, so we are now going to head east again, sort of backtrack the way we've come, and we're going to go and see Old Harry. It's probably about 7 miles to Old Harry. So let's crack on. We're up against the clock a bit, so let's crack on and let's get marching. Well, getting a bit closer, getting back to where we turned on to here, probably another 3/4 mile, something like that. That's Swanage in the distance, English Channel beyond, and then France, where we'll be starting the Hexa trek in 7 weeks' time. 6 more Sundays, the 7th we'll actually be starting, if all goes to plan, which it is so far. Testing some kit out today, got my new shorts on, which I think I'm going to do the walk in. Got new, so the shorts are Stellar Equipment, the t-shirt Stellar Equipment, and I've got a black diamond mid layer on, which I think that's going to be the kiddie as well. Got the poles out. What we got here? There's a horse having fun. Look at that, that's a cracking picture. There we go, some Iron Age long barrows. Similar to what we saw last week. Let's get up on top. Exactly the same type of construction. There we go. I don't know if you can see on the map there, Long Barrow. So these are Iron Age burial grounds, and what a place to be buried. Look at that. Old Harry 2 3/4 on the Purbeck Way. Oh my God. There's like 1,000 stairs. Oh man, what a view, what a view. Right, so the Swanage Water Act 1883, so this is to commemorate, it's really faded, to commemorate the introduction of pure water from the chalk something into Swanage. I think this is in 1883 Swanage got running water by the sounds of it. This was put up in 1892. So there's another sign that says the obelisk was demolished in 1941 to avoid it being of assistance to enemy aircraft during the war. Yeah, makes sense. It was re-erected by men of 129 East Riding Field Squadron Royal Engineers volunteers under the direction of Captain R. Alton, RA. The lowest section was found cracked and was mounted beside the obelisk, which is there. So it used to be that much taller. Let's stand back a little bit and you can get the full. There you go. So that section used to be on the bottom there, but it's cracked, sadly. Right, let's get up the top of this little bit and we'll have a look at where we've still got to go. So I am parked right out there. So that's Sandbanks. I'm parked out there. So we're going to drop over here down to Old Harry, and then we've got a little walk through there back to the car. Let's go. Sorry about the wind noise, but we've got a long walk down to Old Harry now, about 2 miles. Mega windy. So I think this is called the Pinnacles, and then this is Old Harry Rocks through here. Well, this is the Pinnacle. I think this is the Pinnacles, and then Old Harry Rocks is at the far end. There is an archway here as well, but I'm bugging if I'm going right to the edge. As you can see, it's a popular place to come. I don't know if I'd be sitting right on the edge like that. Crikey. Let's go and have a look. Got out of there pretty quick. That's way too busy for me. So we've got about, I think it's about 5k left now to get back to the car. Hopefully an ice cream too.
If you don't fall off, you're not riding there. Thank you.
No worries. You're going all the way round?
Yeah.
Up to the obelisk and back round? Oh
yeah.
Wow. What a ride. Enjoy. Wow, look at that. Look how clear the water is. Looks very inviting, I must admit. There's the ferry coming in. Right, back to the car park, and I don't know if you can see, I've done 31.65k. I can see the car. That's a welcome sight, I can tell you. Absolutely knackered. What's the time? It's 10 past 4, so I left at 9 this morning. That ain't bad going, and it's quite hilly, to be honest. Right, let's get into the car, make a coffee. 32 kilometres in the bag in 7 hours with a couple of stops as well. I didn't get that much drone footage because it was a bit windy in places, and then over Corfe Castle there was just too many people there, I think, and it was quite windy, so it's a shame. I'd like to have got some footage from around the outside, not over the castle but from around the outside, but it was just too windy and too many people about, so it's not right to take a drone over. And same at Old Harry, there's far too many people there as well. So, but that's all right, we got a bit of footage, but most importantly, we've got some more miles under the belt, which is good. I've got a blister playing up on my foot again, but usual aches and pains for walking 32k, with carrying a bit of a pack, to be expected, so that's all right. I'm not too bothered about that. But what a day, beautiful weather. I mean, it's getting pretty warm now. It must be up to sort of 24, 25 degrees now. So the purpose of coming out to places like this is just walking in places that I'm unfamiliar with, which is obviously going to be the case for 5-6 months on Hexatrek. Every day is going to be a new day, new scenery, new people, everything, new places to camp, to find somewhere to camp. So just getting myself kind of in the zone of doing that. Obviously I haven't wild camped this year. That's coming pretty soon. I think I need to give that a go pretty soon and get back in the flow of doing that. Right, I've got a 2.5 hour drive home. No doubt the traffic will be a bit of a nightmare on the way back, but going to put some tunes on, chill out. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give it a like and subscribe. In the meantime, get out, do your own adventure, but make sure you leave no trace. Till the next time.